Today we're showing off Killer Instinct exclusively for the Xbox One. So the godfather of Killer Instinct, one of the original designers and creators is Ken Lobb, and he's come down many times, and he plays the builds often, and even after that first prototype, like he knew it felt like Killer Instinct, the way the systems work with the openers, the autos, the manuals, the linkers, and the enders, and he's given us his blessing. He's like, you guys get it. This is the feel, and so from there, it's my job and our job at Double Helix to herald that vision and make sure that like we make the most awesome Killer Instinct possible. We established like really core pillars on what makes Killer Instinct really Killer Instinct. So it's brutal. It's almost dark in nature. It's over the top. It's extreme with the types of characters that you have. But it's also about this two-way interaction. So it's about combos and combo breakers. It's about trying to guess what your opponent's going to do, break that, and then impose your will on your opponent. So super aggressive two-way interactions were like at the core of what makes KI like what it is. Right now we're showing off Jago and Saberwolf, and you guys got a glimpse of Glacius. And so if you come to EVO, you're going to be able to play Glacius, and then we're going to actually reveal our next character. So Killer Instinct runs at 60 frames per second. We're going to have some really unique matchmaking to make it so it's almost seamless when you're in online. We also have tons of physics-driven destruction, cloth simulations, first simulations, and if you've seen Jago get into a fireball war, it's pretty amazing. We use GPU particles, so basically each particle, when it gets destroyed, bounces off the characters, bounces off the environment before it dies out. And we also use a global illumination lighting system, so essentially it's like a real-time lighting solution, so as things get destroyed in the environment, it changes how the lighting comes into the frame. So it's really unique tech, and it's all running on our proprietary Hex engine over at Double Helix. We want to make sure that everyone has the opportunity to play Killer Instinct, especially in the tournament environment. So our partners at Microsoft know that this is very huge for us, and we will do what it takes to make sure that people can run tournaments with Killer Instinct on Xbox One. In the original Killer Instinct games, it was a more rigid system when you went from openers to your doubles or your linkers. It was only very specific buttons. So our system is an open system. So once you've done an opener, you can actually go to any power level and any like punch or kick to do your next ad. So we wanted people to have options to where you can take your combo chains in different directions. And so what that also means is people do their combo breakers against your power level. So it becomes this new type of interaction where you're trying to read someone or from playing them, guess their tendencies that they do a lot, so someone gets trained to do it, and then you try to break on that string. So another unique thing that we brought to that too is if you're trying to break someone, it's not free. There's a high risk, high reward in a lot of our systems. So if you guess wrong, you're locked out from breaking for 3 seconds. That gives the opponent an opportunity to get as much damage in as possible before they end their combo. As Killer Instinct evolved, like in KI2, almost every character became like a rushdown character, but we really wanted to stress different types of archetypes. So what you're seeing on the show floor is Jago, who's like our balance character, versus Saberwolf, who is very much our rushdown character. And then we'll have other characters that are going to be either like ranged, ones that are going to be grapplers. So we really want to diversify like the types of characters that can exist within this system. But with that, we also needed to remain true to the characters. If Rare could have done what we're doing now, I think they would have been like super proud. They're like just pushing their designs even further. And you can see it with Saberwolf and his like rushdown design. Like he actually has like a magic chain that we gave him. And so there's some people that miss the cartwheels and stuff like that, but we really wanted to push kind of the sensibilities of like the first KI, which is really just sell the brutality of these characters and bring them into this modern fold. So that's what our goal is. Robin Beanland, who was like one of the original composers on the game, he was like super busy, but he loves being involved, and he listened to one of the demos our new composer did. Like, this is awesome. Ken was like, this is brilliant. A lot of the guys from Microsoft really liked it, and we were super pumped up at Double Helix. Our composer's from Australia. His name is Mick Gordon. He's been known to do Dead Space, Need for Speed, and some other major franchises, but he loves Killer Instinct. And so what you're hearing with the remix of the new main theme and Tiger's Temple music, that's all Mick. And he actually learned how to do Tibetan chants at his local Buddhist temple. And so he got us together as a team in our lobby of like 40 some people all doing these like real deep guttural chants like the and incorporated that into this style of music. It's like super dynamic, super modern, but it had to be big and extreme and larger than life. The whole goal is to have as many people play the game as possible. So when the game's released, there's going to be several different content packages, different editions, collector's editions, special editions, where you're getting the full season of content. And then on top of that, we're basically releasing the demo of the game as the full game, but with one playable character, Jago. So if someone's intimidated by fighting games, they've never played them before, but they're like, hey, Killer Instinct looks really awesome, I want to check it out, download the demo, you get all the single player content, all the multiplayer content, and with one playable character, our balanced character, and so you can run through the tutorials, you can try your hand online, but basically get that exposure without being intimidated. And then if you're like, oh, this is totally awesome, I want all in, you can buy one of the packages. And then if you don't, but you've checked out another character, you played against somebody, and you're like, hey, I want to try out Saberwolf, or I want to try out Glacius, then you're like, hey, I'm going to go ahead and just buy him, and those are the only two characters I really like. I don't want to get anybody else. So everybody has options. It's not about nickel and diming people, it's about growing the community and getting more exposure to fighting games and Killer Instinct. So we can't wait to show you awesome new things in the future.